Hi all, and thanks for being with me. This is Election Day 2025 for Australia, a day which we celebrate. We love to have because there's so many things that we do on this particular day that we don't do on any other day. Primarily, we vote, and it's a bit of a tradition in this country to do some odd things. Wait in line. That's not traditionally what Australians like to do. Have a perhaps something to eat on the way, which I did today, which was a sausage, a sausage at the barbecue, which I'll show you in just a moment. To sit and have a chat to my wife, and perhaps sometimes in the past just chat and talk to other people around us. Not about election, as I heard someone speaking today about football behind me. So it's a community day, and it's an opportunity to remember what Australia really stands for. So today, which is Saturday, a most appropriate and sensible day in which to have an election. And if a person is working today and needs to take time off, they're allowed to do that, which is a wonderful initiative, I've thought. So, and also the other thing to remember is that in Australia it's compulsory voting if you're registered to vote. And most people, when they turn 18, register to vote in this country. And we've gone from a turnout prior to compulsory voting of around 70% to around the mid 90s, 95, 97%, in fact, people turn up to vote in this country. And what I did discover today when I went into the polling booth to cast my vote was that I hadn't thought about the range of other politicians or future politicians or candidates that I could have considered for this election as well. So I knew who I wanted, I knew who I didn't want, but I didn't know much about the other candidates that I could have included in the six across the top if you're voting for the upper house, the Senate, or the six that were as in the House of Representatives. So the possibilities were great. I don't know whether I utilised mine the most, but nevertheless, I knew who I wanted, and I certainly knew who I didn't want. So this is what the that it looks like today. So I took some photographs of actually the line. So it took us about 40 minutes, I guess, from the moment we got to the end of the line to the time to vote. So that's on the left-hand side there. On the top right, you see the coffee car, and also the barbecue. So you get your sausage sizzle, and on the left-hand side with a list, a copy of both major parties and some of their banners. And one of the things that my wife and I noticed was that the number of people that are handing out how to vote cards were rather skimpy here, and primarily that's because in our electorate we don't have many alternatives apart from these two primary voters. That it's primarily a Labor seat anyway, and that's a shot out towards our home and to the hills that sit behind us. So the important thing to remember about this election, I think, is that it's an interesting election in terms of how most people have viewed the Dutton and the Liberal Party's effort in order to win votes. It's been even Sky News are saying how lacklustre it's been, how many mistakes Dutton has made, and it is unlikely that Dutton will become Prime Minister and the Liberal Party will become the government at the end of today. What is more likely is that the Labor Party may win with a majority, again similar to what they had last time, or they may win a minority government. Either of those two possibilities are the most likely. But there again, in Australian elections, we don't really rightfully know. It's hard to actually determine whether the polls are correct, because in 2019, the Labor Party under Bill Shorten were expected to win, and they didn't. And so we're a bit sceptical, I guess, about where the polls sit in relation to any election, particularly this one, even though it is quite evident that Dutton has done a terrible job at selling the policies that he wanted to market to the population. So let's see what happens. Let us know what you think about, if you're in Australia, what did you experience about voting? What was it like for you? And also, if you're overseas and you've got some questions about the Australian electoral system, which I personally believe is probably one of the best in the world. And there have been many accolades that have been expressed towards us in terms of the way we do conduct our elections. Let me know whether you think there's anything starkly different about what we do, and whether it's something that you in your country could possibly do as well. So let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Remember to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications, do whatever you need to do in that particular area. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.